Hey guys, Ken Stretz Tactical. So I want to talk about the Surefire Stiletto Pro. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that it's been in a few posts recently, and people are like, "Hey, what's that next to your flashlight?" Well, it's another flashlight. That's what it is. Um, Pretty cool thing. I think they consider it like an EDC light or a tactical light. I'm going to call it more of a utility light, and I'll get into that here in a second. So let's talk about some of the features. Multiple output. And there's a couple switches here, starting off with what they call I think it's the primary switch. Yeah, primary switch. Press it once and you got 25 lumens. And if it goes past 2 seconds and it's been on, you press it again and it'll go off. If you press it, you can go from 25 to 300 to 1,000 lumens, but you have to do it before 2 seconds elapses in each mode. So if you want to go to 300, press it again before the 2 seconds, and then leave it, and you press it again when you're done, and the light will go off. If you want to go to 1,000 lumens, press it again before 2 seconds, press it again before another 2 seconds, you get to 1,000, and then press it again and shut it off. So how does that look? So 25, 300, 1,000, off. 25, and we go past 2 seconds here and press it again, and it's off. If you want to use 300 for a while, press it again before 2 seconds has elapsed. Now we're at 300. Go past 2 seconds, press it again, and it'll shut off. It doesn't have a memory, so I turn it back on, and it's back to 25, the low output setting. And I'm past 2 seconds, and it's back off. I want 1,000. 1, 2, 3. There's 1,000. Press it again, and it's off. So that's the primary switch. Next to it is another button that's for programming. You can change modes and what different buttons do and all that. On the rear end, there is a momentary. Just hold it down, lights on, let it go, it's off. If you tap it 3 times and hold it, you can see it's a strobe for signaling, let it go, it shuts off. It's got a reversible pocket clip, so you can see the 2 screws here. Take it out, flip it around, you see the holes there, and you can put it bezel down, bezel up, however you want to carry it. It's got some serrations in here for gripping. And if you notice, the pressure switch is recessed, and these edges kind of protect it. So there's where I say it's not so much a tactical light anymore as a utility light. Because if you look, the design, it kind of tapers back this way, and there's really nothing for you to hold on to. So as you start to push on the light, I'll try to turn my hand over here for you, you start to get a little bit of this. I'm kind of exaggerating it right now, but unless you're really kind of holding on to it and you're pressing that button, it's just not ergonomic. I wish it was tapered the other way and maybe had a little notch or something on it. You know, when I hold my tactician, I got the belt clip, and it's even knob. You know, if you look at the end of it, it comes up a little bit, and then you also have this little lanyard loop. So when I push on it, it doesn't go anywhere. So for me, not so much tactical, but I love that it's rechargeable. And here is the micro USB rechargeable port. It comes with this cable. You can charge it on your computer. You can charge it, say, the iPhone, wall jack. Unplug your iPhone cord and plug this into the iPhone jack, and this end into the USB port, and you can charge your flashlight that way. The Stiletto Pro also has a battery life indicator. You turn the light on, you can see, in this case, it's a green light, steady green light. And what that means is if it's not charging, it's got between 95 and 100% of the full charge. If it's charging and you see solid green, it's now 100% charged, so you can unplug it, it's good to go. If it's solid yellow, the battery is low, so you may want to reduce your output. So if you're at like 1,000 lumens, drop down to 300, or if you can, drop down to 15, just to keep it from going completely dead. If it's solid red, you should recharge it immediately, and if it's flashing red, the battery's critically low. The other day I was outside and it got critically low, and the beam itself started to flash, so it wouldn't stay on. It was kind of flashing, just I guess to indicate that the battery was, you need to charge it now. So there's another indicator as well. What else can I say about it? I like having 1,000 lumens. Why? So I was doing a patrol rifle class about a year ago. We got a new rifle, and it was more modern rifle with a rail and everything. I put a Surefire X300U, so 1,000 lumen pistol light on it, upside down at the 12 o'clock position on the rail. Everyone's on a break. The class is out for meal. I'm looking for something downrange. We're on an outdoor range, beautiful 100-yard outdoor range, 40-foot berms on every side. But there was no lighting that we had access to. So I had to turn my headlights on. I have a high-end car with those high-end, really bright headlights. Had the high beams on top of that, trying to find something. And then I looked back, I heard something. I couldn't tell if there was an animal coming or if people were coming back from meal. And I turn on, not that you should do this, but I used the weapon light. The gun was cleared out and safed anyway. I just happened to have it hanging on me. But I kind of used it as a utility light. And again, I know I shouldn't do that, but it was actually a pretty cool learning thing. So 1,000 lumen flashlight, I turned it on. Before I turned it on, I couldn't see into the car, around the car. The lights were so bright. There was a wall of light. I couldn't see past it. I turned on that 1,000 lumens. I can see around the car, under the car, over the car, into the car, through into the back. It was like directing the sun into the car. So I'm a big believer in, the buzz term nowadays is all the lumens. Back in the day, you had to have at least a 60 to 80 lumen flashlight to be considered tactical. And then as the technology progressed and the number of lumens went up, you don't want to go over 200 because if you hit, like say, a wall like behind me here, a white wall or a stainless steel refrigerator, it'll flash back and you'll be blinded. And yeah, you could get white spots and stuff like that and get your eyes washed out, but there's techniques to deal with that and overcome that. So it's really not a big deal. But I can tell you, using 1,000 lumens on a weapon light and looking into, around, under the car with high-end headlights and high beams on top of that, man, I was sold on 1,000 lumens. I can tell you, and I'll try to compare it outside here for you in a minute. Surefire Tactician, which is my everyday carry light, is a 800, or if you turn the bezel, it's a 15. So if I compare them side by side, so I was messing around with it the other day, and 800 versus 1,000, it was kind of close range. I didn't see too much of a difference. I'm going to go outside here in a minute and do another test for you guys in the woods and kind of see if that shows up any better than me just messing around the other day. So, could 800 be enough? Yeah, maybe, depending on what you're doing, but they make 1,000, why not have 1,000, right? So I'm loving the 1,000. I love that you could cycle through the different modes and different lumen settings. So if you're doing something administrative versus more tactical, or you don't need as much light, cycle it down, save the battery life. And I love that it's rechargeable, because walking my dog all the time, and there's other dogs she likes to play with in the neighborhood. Sometimes we'll be outside in the dark, half hour, 45 minutes, going for a walk, meeting up with other dog owners in the neighborhood, and they're playing and running around and doing their thing. And that half hour with my Tactician, it starts to add up, and I started going through batteries. So I love the fact that it's rechargeable, and basically that's what I keep it for. I keep it with the dog leash, and I save my Tactician to have it on me. And I kind of like to subscribe to the 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is better mindset anyway. So the fact that I can have this in my pocket, I also keep spare batteries in my pocket in a little case. And what's great about the Tactician is, as the batteries start to die down, the light doesn't just shut off. It starts to get duller than the 800 output. I don't know what it drops down to lumen-wise, but so it gives you kind of a heads up that, hey, you need to change your batteries. So I can save this. I can save buying batteries all the time, since I'm out in the dark walking the dog a lot, especially wintertime when it gets dark earlier here, 4:30, 5 o'clock, versus the spring and summertime. another great feature of this. So I'm going to go outside now and compare the 1000 lumens from the Stiletto Pro to the 800 lumens in the Tactician, and we'll see if we can notice a difference. 800 lumen Tactician, and I'll turn on the 1000 lumen Stiletto Pro. So there you have it, guys. Surefire Stiletto Pro 1000 lumens, Surefire Tactician 800 lumens. You be the judge. Is the 1000 lumen a little bit brighter maybe than the 800? Could you tell? Couldn't you tell? I don't know. You be the judge. They give you 1000. I'll take 1000. Do I feel like I don't have enough lumens with 800? No, it's fine. And I love that I can turn the head down and get 15. But same thing with this. I can do, what is it, 25 or 35? Yeah, 25, 300, and 1000. And I love that it's rechargeable. I just wish it wasn't so slick, even though it's got these kind of grooves on it. I wish there was something to grasp, and that this taper was reversible so that it could be used, as a tactical flashlight also. But, the purpose in this is to save batteries, because I was running through them a lot, walking the dog at night, especially my dog playing with other dogs in the neighborhood and being outside for a while. So the purpose of this is more utility than it is tactical, defensive, whatever. So people asked, what was that thing? It's another flashlight, and that's the deal. That's why I got it. Surefire lights aren't cheap, but they are the gold standard. So figure out what works for you and what you can afford, and go from there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, subscribe, the little bell notification if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you see this on Instagram, make sure you give me a follow, leave a comment as well. All right, guys, stay safe. Thanks for watching.